recently got now here. Here's what happened recently. I checked my left arm, and it turns out, pretty. I don't know if if it did upload or not. It probably did. I showed one part of my arm. Turns out the other side has also got some bruising on it too, due to the effects of this radiation weapons that they use, these DEWs. I'm probably gonna show my arm again later on, not right now. Now, here's the deal and the gist of the situation. I took 2 detox baths, so I've been cutting their shit off lately. I've also definitely been using the Zacchaeus' videos, the tones to, cut their crap off. So, what do I see on my door prior to me basically getting this junk out of my system, cutting them off, and shutting their shit down? Simple. I'm seeing out of all these days, and this is the same excuse they played before. Oh, we have to send an exterminator in to, spray your unit. We have to do that. Yeah, they have to do that. Yeah. They say this, people, on the same day that I was at my job. These perps were so comfortable with their schemes and what they were saying on private property because they knew nobody else gave a fuck, nobody was going to do anything. So they just literally said, oh, I'm going to plot this, I'm going to plot that, right? So on a day that I come home from work when I was still working, turns out they sprayed this unit down with that stuff, and it was the fucking C19. No joke. It was the damn C19. This stuff was, these gnats were growing from it. I've told you all before, like how I've seen this abnormally large bug flying around as a result of that. This is after a spraying. TIs, I'm going to give you a good warning on this situation. If you ever live in a unit, there's 2 scenarios with this. It's kind of safer being in a complex, because understand they always are trying to harm your credibility, always trying to character assassinate you. They don't want to give you leverage, to basically pry the crap out of that. They don't want to give you that option at all. So it really doesn't matter even if I tell them not to, because they're just going to send the asshole in even while I'm gone at some point. So it's no point in really, debating that. But the best thing that I do is record the situation and make sure I see the spots that are sprayed, and definitely detox the floor. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. They do this shit even while you're gone. It's nothing different. It's nothing new. It's the same old ass tactic they used before. This is why they want you to stay at home. Now, they have been poisoning people through several different methods from a lot of the research I've done from TIs on their channels. They've done this from the ventilation shafts. They've done this through the air conditioning unit. They tried that on me, but the shit didn't work. They tried many different methods. They, even when it comes to like cleaning the floors, they put this shit down on the floors. They do all of this shit, man. They do all of that. Every single bit of it. So when they're doing this and you are that's considered to being in a controlled building, because each time you make any bit of progress of shutting their shit off, they're going to just do some twisted shit to lace you back on. This is why I'm leaving. This is why I'm getting off the grid, because it makes their job that much harder when I go off grid. It makes it damn near impossible where I'm going. Because the shit that they put down, the stuff that they lace down, it can't survive where I'm going. It can't survive there. You can try to lace it, but it's gonna die either way. From both the oxygen and the surface alone is enough to basically kick that shit's ass. So, in regards to this, don't be surprised if they try to lace you in anything. This is why it's also important to grow your own food too. I've took preparations on that. I've long since, bundled up on some seeds, so I'm good on that. this is where it's coming to. Like, you're gonna have to start growing your own food because now, little do you know, they've been caught spraying shit on the food in the stores. Yeah, they're starting to spray compounds all over the food in the stores. You may be wondering what these compounds could possibly be. Oh, it's simple. It's aluminum. It's basically the same stuff. They're spraying the food with this shit. When you go shopping, they spray this stuff on the shopping carts. Man, this situation, this is seriously full-blown terrorism. It is. For the people who don't know, and for people who are not realizing it, like, they are the most at risk. People who are ignorant and don't know, and again, it's not their fault. It isn't. It's just this corrupted system we're in, and people just don't care. All they want to know is when their next paycheck is coming. They are so programmed and so obsessed with the system that there's little to no hope for people like that. You could try talking to them. You can try reasoning with them, but a person like that is just, you see, it's like a drug addiction. It's like the best way to, to really explain this is just like a drug addiction. They are addicted to the drug, so because of them being addicted to that drug, which is, well, the money, they're going to keep going to it. They know the shit's killing them, but they're going to keep going to it. They know it's bad, but they keep going to it, right? That's a drug addict, people. That is definitely a drug addict. And they do hire drug addicts for their bullshit. You best believe they do. As well as drug pushers and as well as drug sellers, definitely. Now, they don't give a flying fuck what happens to the person they will send after you who's most likely under that type of influence. But if it ever comes to a situation like that, remember, even despite that bullshit, do not hesitate to defend yourself. Don't ever hesitate to defend yourself. However, always analyze the situation before, making a move. Because remember, they always use deceptive tactics. Now, I'm going to give you a prime example of their deceptive tactics. They'll probably send an agent somewhere. You're just minding your business, walking down, and then all of a sudden some verbalization threats just so happens to be mentioned in your, in the vicinity of where you're at. Person's not saying your name, not really pointing at you. In fact, they're not going to do that shit, especially when we have the camera glasses. But it's like a subliminal threat. It's definitely a subliminal threat. And just understand, like, don't be bothered by shit like that. Don't let them get to you with that, because you see, first off, if you say, oh, well, like, the guy is paid to do that shit. But if you were to basically jump the gun and saying, oh, this is clearly a threat to me, that's a setup. That's a damn setup. You see, the guy's paid to, the guy or female is paid to do that because they want you to act out. They want you to make that assumption that they're talking about you. Most likely they are. Most likely it is definitely directed at you in some subliminal way. But don't be intimidated by that. Understand the main goal of their bullshit. Definitely understand that. When you're able to see through that, they can't fuck with you. This is when their tactics become more and more desperate. The more and more desperate their tactics become, the more and more you can predict their next move, and the more and more you got them right on their asses to where they got to contemplate what can they do to get to you. It turns out, what I figured what was going to happen sooner or later has happened. The riots are starting to ramp up, come towards Louisiana. But I don't know. I saw a news article. I didn't look into it. I didn't. So I don't know if that's in somewhere in Louisiana. Probably is. I don't know. But hearing how, like, a lot of these situations, how they, these protests, these rioters sitting there saying, we want Texas, this, that, and the other thing. That's too damn close to here. Mark my words, by the end of this year, damn near every state's going to be a damn war zone. That's just, it's too much of a possibility now. Like, it's just, This stuff is just going way too far, and it's getting to the point of no return. I'm not trying to promote fear in any way. I'm just trying to promote awareness. That's it. Don't ever be afraid of being informed. Don't ever be afraid of the truth. Don't ever be afraid of of the reality that's happening around you. I know these there's definitely some cruelty happening in this world, but the people responsible for this won't get away with what they're doing. I'm more than certain of that. There's no way that they're gonna be allowed to get away with what they've done. No way. Which is why they're getting desperate now. You see how they desperately rolled out that 5G? You seen how they're desperately trying to mandate everything, trying to destroy everything as much as they can. That's desperism, people. That is desperism. Those are desperate tactics and desperate measures that they're taking because they're panicking. They're panicking because they're running out of time. A lot of the people who are responsible for this stuff, for happening are getting exposed. As a result of this, you already know, like, there's a lot of infighting as well as within the cities with these protesters and these rioters. And there's a lot of infighting amongst the politicians. But you see, it's all a ruse. It's all a freaking way to basically divert your attention away from what's really happening. Take the stimulus package. Man, don't even fucking worry about that. But how come, and people said this, how come that's like the hugest freaking thing searched on YouTube? Why is that when it came to money, why is that the hugest thing that was searched up on YouTube? Why is that? Because money is a drug. A type of drug that is satisfying one's own fantasistic desires, just as their wants. It does have the ability to satisfy the needs, but not a lot of people go for the needs. They usually go for the wants. These gang stalkers are addicted to what they want, not addicted to what they need. What they're doing is not what they need. You can't even apply the whole survival of the fittest bit to this because, it doesn't count when you're basically working for an organization that's killing you by the day. And I don't mean TIs because, they're poisoning the air. These gang stalkers breathe the air. That's killing them. They poison the food. These gang stalkers are eating the food that they poison. That's killing them. They fluoride the water. These gang stalkers use the water at some point? That's killing them. All of these things that they do, and not to mention the programming that they put in your phone, that Project Bluebeam stuff, all of this it's not survival of the fittest. It means that basically you're working to these are idiots working to their inevitable end, also along with people who have long since been brainwashed. These are just the direct results of what's happening. TIs do not react to these perps, or they're definitely controlled. I'm 100% certain on that, based on what I've witnessed alone. It was really a scratch the head moment when I started to see the stuff that they did. Despite the fact that I gave out warnings about it, and I'm like, you still eat that shit? You still drink that shit? You literally don't even detox? Even after me telling them what this fucking channel was, man, it's just that the only thing I did notice something. Some of the people who I told this to, right, I did not mean to do that, but well. Some of the people I told this to, like, I noticed that, like, the perps, they were switching out. They were swapping out, and they actually had to get different people to do the stalking thing. So I believe I made some progress indefinitely. There's no telling what happened to those people. But let me give you a prime example. I believe some of those people possibly were threatened. Stay the fuck, just pretend like you didn't see this shit, ignore it. Otherwise they're gonna do the same shit to them too. I believe those people were threatened. So when it got down to where they started really realizing what this shit was, they were like, hell no. But as you know, when you turn against them, they turn against you too. That's just how they operate. So I believe that's what happened with that. Now you may be wondering, are there still some perks who still sign up you? Of course there is. Of course there is. There's just some people, who they need on a team that's basically detrimental to their cause. Now, I know there's many different things. Some of these people, they will just hire on the spot. They usually fire them within after a little while, and then they'll put someone who's who is fully integrated on their team, who they feel like they can trust more with the task at hand. So that's the stunt that they pull, such as with the medical staff. That's what they did with the nurses and doctors. When they got some of the things, remember when they started parading saying, yay, they're heroes and all that stuff, even after all those people were, those people basically these people were not dying from no damn virus. They were being murdered in the hospital over money, just for money. Money is a fucking drug. It is an addiction, and it is rotting the minds of so many people. It is. And it makes one wonder, why do they call money the root of all evil? It really does. It really does. People, man, the best way, there was one line that I remember hearing. I'm not going to mention, where I got it from, but it made a lot of sense. The hearts of man are blackened and corrupted, and must needs be cleansed. That's that's the definite truth, because look at how much we're seeing. Look at all the stuff that's happening. Also, I want to point out in the previous video, at the end, that I was talking, when I was making my point about the whole skin tone thing. Remember, I did use a screen recorder to make that, and I did have the blue light filter as well. So the colors may not look, they may seem pale compared to their original, looks. But their actual still, those colors were definitely still the same as as I mentioned it. But I am not taking that screen filter off unless it's something that I'm recording with the actual camera itself or anything else like that. But so yeah, TIs definitely be mindful. And I'm going to go ahead and give a warning now. You do not ever want to use an air conditioner unit, because that damn thing's responsible for actually lacing you. That's a machine that basically is lacing you with this stuff already. I know this because they changed the filter in the one I got, and in attempts to basically try to do what? Lace me. Now, how would I know that this is accurate? Well, as I mentioned before, how the C19 involves with mold. I've been seeing mold deposits coming from that damn thing, and that is definitely from somebody fucking with me. That is not by coincidence. Something, a freaking air conditioning unit doesn't mold like that if you're not using it. I have not used this thing in over a year. I haven't used it in over a year. This is why I use a fan. You can't trust something like that, man. You can't trust a damn microwave. You cannot trust an air conditioner. You can't trust none of that shit. Even being in an apartment is being in a fixed living space that they will just keep lacing and continuously lacing. They'll do shit on the outside to where it causes this stuff to grow all the way into the inside. And they'll lace you that way. Thinking that, they're innocent in what they're doing, but that I don't realize that shit. Bitch. I see through all of that. I know they're putting that stuff in a damn mop bucket. I know they basically are, moving that shit around on the surface, and that shit grows as a result. I know that shit. I see through all of that deception. And again, it's meant to look innocent in nature, but it's not. It's one of the farthest things from it, and it's way far from that. They'll utilize people who normally just be acting like they're just doing their job, but in reality, there's the actions of what they're doing. It may seem like they're just doing their job, but in reality, what they're really doing is very fucking sinister. because they were paid to do a little, do a little bit of extra. They were paid that underhanded money under the table that you don't know about, that you didn't fucking sign up for, and they're doing it anyway. This is why I'm getting off the grid. This is why I'm going to continue to detox. I'm going to get the shit out of my system. And I don't know what's going to happen in the cities, but my warning still stays the same. People, do what you can to get out of the city, because they're going to have this place. They're going to try to have the place locked down. You already saw it with the rioters, how they were basically institutionalizing that, how they were basically trying to take over a whole street corner and stuff, keeping people in their houses, not letting them go. Dude, there were people who were raped, there were people who were murdered, there were people who were beaten, they were robbed, and it's been happening for so long. I don't think those people have even made it out at all. I believe that they're still trapped in there. Then you see videos of the police basically shaking hands with the rioters. Actually, these are the people. These were police who were caught. Literally just standing there as the looters were just looting the damn stores. That's like a what the fuck moment, dude. That's like a seriously what the fuck moment. It really is. Like I said before, though, I don't know what's gonna happen by the end of this month, but it seems like stuff is getting worse as the days go on. It really does. Anyway, I hope all I can do is pray and hope all is well with everybody, and we just continue the preparations on leaving this grid. That's about all I can do for now. Stay safe, and as always, stay. In matter of fact, hold on. You know what? No, not with this thing. I'll probably have to do it from the camera again just to show you guys. I got basically marks on both sides of my arm. One large one on the outer side, and then there's a smaller, more direct one on the inner side. I believe I did show you guys the other one, and this is a result from a bot that they were having to attack my arm when I was carrying groceries from the store. Man, this shit has definitely become more important to basically get out of this mess, because as long as you stay on the grid, like you're gonna be continuously laced. You're never gonna really be able to really detox this stuff out of your system, because it's just gonna grow back. This is why you need to get out of the hive mind, man. You got to. Wish there was other, things we can do, but like when this technology out there like that, it's too dangerous to stay in the city. It's just too dangerous, especially with what they're planning. Too dangerous. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I definitely got some cleaning up to do, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know. I might do a live stream later on today. I don't know. I'll see about it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But until then, take care, everybody.